and then left. So.
Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is the regular meeting of Mayor and Council for Monday, November 7, 2016. Can I please ask everyone to please rise for a moment of silent prayer? And can I please ask Councilman Papaleo to lead us in the salute to the flag?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Adequate notice of this meeting has been made by sending notice on December 18, 2015 to the Ridgewood News and the Record, by positioning on the bulletin board in the lobby of the Borough Hall and filing a notice of same with the municipal clerk. I would like to remind all members of the public that we have 3 fire exits in their council chambers, 1 on each side of the dais and 1 in the rear. In addition, we've been recorded by both audio and video for purposes of creating a record during the public portion of the meeting. If any member of the public wishes to be recorded or heard, they need only to identify themselves for the record, and they may make a statement or ask any question they would like. Roll call, please.
Councilman Aquafina.
Present.
Councilman Barbaro.
Here.
Councilwoman Patrice. Here. Councilwoman Davis. Here. Councilwoman Murphy.
Here.
Councilman Papaleo.
Here.
And Mayor Miguel.
Here. Can I please have a motion to approve the minutes for the Mayor and Council work session and regular meeting of October 17, 2016?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Abstain.
1 abstention. We have 2 special proclamations and awards this evening. Let's go proclamations at the Joint County Court. Come on. I guess Lieutenant Brian Coleman, please come up, please. It's our pleasure tonight to recognize Lieutenant Brian Coyman, who selflessly gave his time, money, and support to help raise over $20,000 for 2 girls from Walton, New York, who are suffering from cancer. Brian generously spent his own money to purchase a car, which he drove in a demolition derby to help raise money for the family's medical expenses. We're very proud of you. We're very honored that we're able to present you with this certificate of recognition this evening. Going above and beyond is something we know you do in your daily life as a volunteer, and to see you actually go beyond the community, it just makes us even more proud. So congratulations, and thank you for your volunteering, what you do for the town. And former Chief Dave Stuckey, please. This year, or actually just last month, I have been thinking about it all year about a special award that we've been giving to certain people who through an act or an individual act of kindness or act of heroism or act above and beyond what you would expect for the common person to respond in a situation. With the help of Judy and Stephanie, we designed what I would call the You Inspire Award. And we had given last month to a young man, Christopher Hums, and when we were notified about what action former Chief Stuckey took, I decided this is something that was worthy of a special recognition. And for those who didn't know, I believe the date was October 11th, when Dave was in a deli in Hallworth, I believe, and one of the people in line collapsed. And Dave responded immediately and gave the person first aid. And again, he could have been a bystander. He could have waited for emergency services to come, but he didn't. He went above and beyond, and obviously he took his training to heart. And then I heard he was very modest and said it was all in a day's work. And that's what we're looking for, people who are everyday heroes and just go about it as if it's their regular daily lives. And I'm very pleased to be able to offer special recognition. So tonight I'm pleased to offer you, it says, presented Dave Sucky, You Inspire, and it's dated 2016. Congratulations and thank you. Go ahead. Thank you for all you do also.
Can I say something for a minute?
Sure.
The EMS end of what's still inside my soul, that makes you stop and want to help somebody, started quite a few years ago. If anybody doesn't remember, the town ambulance corps was in some trouble with daytime response, and they reached out to the fire department, and a bunch of us that at the time I worked for the DPW, and reached out to us, and we supplied a couple of guys that stepped up that wanted to take some basic first aid and stuff and help out driving. And that was a pretty crazy road. Learned a lot from that lady right there, Kathy Beatty, and my elders in the fire department. And it's something that's in your body, and you don't turn your head and walk out the door and go eat your breakfast. So I thank all those people and that have made us and keep us training and always looking out for the others. So thank you.
And also thanks to Chief Schultz and to Assistant Chief O'Connell, who had brought this to our attention, or else sometimes these kind of acts we don't even find out. And it's great when we're able to be notified and then also to be able to publicly recognize you. And we're very proud of the show of support you got from the department this evening also. And with that,
You have to sit through the rest of the meeting.
you can all make that. Anybody who would like to leave before we go on with the rest of the meeting is free to do so.
That would have been.
Okay, we have our first opportunity for public comments on any issue on the agenda. Can I have a motion open, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody from the audience like to make any comments regarding any specific agenda item this evening? Yeah, you can. Feel free to go.
Thank you for.
Thank
We're
you.
used to it.
So we're open to the public for anybody who wants to make a comment or a question on the agenda. Yes, Mr. Higgins?
Mayor, is this just on the agenda?
This is just on the agenda item, yes.
The other items will be
At the end, yes, correct. Okay, I have a motion to close to the public, please.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Appointment of personnel changes. Can I have a motion, please, to approve the salary increase for Matthew Jung, part-time police dispatcher, at an hourly probationary rate of $16 to step one, $18.97, effective August 17, 2016.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Can I please have a motion to approve the salary increase for Brenton Preisendorf, patrol officer, from a second-year probationary rate of $46,008 to patrol officer 17th grade, $54,127, effective November 3rd, 2016.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Can I please have a motion to approve the hire of Carol Byrne as Planning Zoning Board Recording Secretary at an hourly rate of $19.17, with a 6-month probationary period effective November 8th, 2016.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? On the agenda, we have a list of various correspondence we've received that are available through the borough's clerk office, and if anyone is interested in reading it or getting copies of it. We also have on file monthly reports from the Recreation Commission for July, August, September 2016, Shade Tree Commission for September, Fire Prevention, July through September 2016, Historic Commission for September, and the Library Board for October 2016. We have 2 ordinances on this evening for first reading. Madam Clerk, will you please read it by title?
Ordinance 1873, a capital ordinance of the Borough of River Edge in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, authorizing the construction of street curb and sidewalk improvements, Phase 2, in said borough, and appropriating the sum of $68,493 from Bergen County Community Development Grant Program funds to pay the costs thereof.
So this is our 2016 community development block grant that we've gotten for improvements, for curb and sidewalk improvements on Oxford Terrace, and this is the funding for that. Can I please have a motion to adopt this on first reading?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Aguilera.
Yes.
Councilman Bartoloni.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastidas.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Papera.
Yes.
Thank you. And that will be listed for a public hearing at a later meeting. Ordinance 1874, please read it by title, Madam Clerk.
Ordinance 1874, bond ordinance authorizing entry in the design phase of the construction and reconstruction of curbs on existing sidewalks at portions of Rutgers Place and Oxford Terrace in, by, and to the Borough of River Edge in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey. A sidewalk improvement to appropriate the sum of $3,720 to pay the cost thereof to make a down payment, authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds.
And this is just a companion ordinance to the previous. It's for $3,720 for the design fee, and Alan, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the entire design fee? Or is it just what's being assessed?
This is design, but not inspection.
But this is what will be assessed to the property owners?
I believe so.
Can I please have a motion to adopt this on first reading, please?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Aguilera.
Yes.
Councilman Bartoloni.
Yes.
Councilwoman Bastidas.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davis.
Yes.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
And Councilman Papera.
Yes. Mayor, if I may, the whole design fee will be a little bit higher because there is a public portion of the project as well, the islands in Oxford Terrace, which will not be assessed.
But this is the amount that will be assessed.
Yes, this is the amount that will be assessed.
Okay, we have resolutions on our consent agenda from 16-387 up to 16-405. Would any member of council like any of them separately hold for discussion or vote? Yes, Councilwoman.
I just had two questions on 16-396 and 16-397. On the 396, can you just explain what DEDR, cash match, and in-kind, if you can clarify?
Yes,
Those three numbers?
the DEDR is the grant portion from the County of Bergen through the State of New Jersey. We are required to provide a cash match, and there's some fundraising that goes on between the police department and the what we used to call the DARE program, and also the Alliance, which the fund run is called proceeds that come to the cash match. The in-kind is the time that's spent by the police department, by the Alliance committee, the Alliance chair, the volunteer work that goes on. We are required to put in a certain amount of in-kind services as well. So the entire activity and grant is composed of those three elements.
Thank you. And just on the 16-397 on the bus stops, if you can just clarify, are all of these existing, or is there any changes that we can notify people? Is this just routine that we have to designate these?
I think this is routine. I think the county requested it after we made the change on the Wayne Avenue. That's the only one where we modified the description.
So everything else is already
I
existing,
believe
right?
everything else is existing.
Okay, that's it, thank you.
Would you like to leave those in consent, or do you want to vote on?
No, just keeping that.
Can I please have a motion then to adopt by consent Resolution 16-387 to 16-405?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Councilwoman Bastidas, please read and move Resolution 16-406, payment of bills.
Thank you, Mayor.
Whereas vouchers for the payment of goods and services rendered to the Borough of River Edge have been received, and whereas each bill has been checked, excuse me, by the receiving department, approved by the Chief Financial Officer and Borough Clerk, and reviewed by the 3 members of the Finance Committee, now therefore be it resolved that bills as listed now be confirmed for payment from the appropriate funds as follows. Current account, $8,102,683.37. Capital account, $19,351.81. Recreation account, $2,321.71. Animal welfare account, $2.40. Self-insurance account, $4,346. Trust other account, $22,234.81. Trust other developers account, $2,465. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, can I please have motion open to the public, please?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're open to the public. Mr. Higgins?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mayor, members of the council, Mr. Negri. About a year ago, we presented to the mayor and council petitions signed by more than 500 residents supporting an ordinance prohibiting businesses from opening in the residential area during nighttime hours. In addition, the planner testified in support of the ordinance. Chief Peretti was asked to come up and comment upon crime involving convenience stores. And he stated that convenience stores like 7-Eleven are high on the list of targets for nighttime robberies. Additionally, we presented case law from the highest court in New Jersey, the Supreme Court, stating that towns have a right to enact an ordinance in governing residential areas and limiting nighttime business hours in order to protect and preserve the quality of life of the residents in those areas. And further, we submitted the minutes from the planning board that pertain to the hearing for 7-Eleven, in which the planning boards never told 7-Eleven that they had the right to operate 24/7. This was in rebuttal to 7-Eleven's statement that the planning board gave them such approval. On October 3 of this year, council met in closed session, and we saw that on the agenda to discuss 7-Eleven litigation, which is still pending. Because it's a closed session, we don't know exactly what you discussed. However, there is a concern that a discussion may involve a settlement. Some people will tell you tonight that there have been incidents already, nighttime noise incidents involving 7-Eleven. These have been reported to the police. Some have gone unreported. And we have told the neighbors, particularly in the area, that for the benefit of the council and their knowledge of what's going on, if any such incidents continue to recur, please take and document them so you have the information. I'm here tonight with several residents to say to the mayor and council that it is our expectation that you will defend this ordinance, and that if a proposal to settle this case by 7-Eleven is offered, that you reject any such settlement. I thank you for your time, and good evening.
Mayor and Council, Mayor, just let me address.
Okay, yes.
Number one, we are in pending litigation, so the Mayor and Council will not address any comments, number one. Number two is, we've had numerous closed session matters regarding 7-Eleven, and myself and Mr. Grodik providing you with status. I'm a little concerned, Mayor and Council, that now I have a resident coming up here after mentioning one closed session and talking about terms of settlement. Let me again reinforce to this Mayor and Council, closed session is just what closed session is. If anything that we talk about gets out to the public in closed session, number one, it's a violation of the law. Number two, we have the potential to lose the attorney-client privilege. If you don't think 7-Eleven is monitoring each and every one of our meetings and watching them, you're quite mistaken, because they are. So that concerns me, that comes up now after the last meeting. Again, I listen to anything I've said this year. We do not address pending litigation. There's a lot of moving parts to this. You guys are aware of that. We do not address pending litigation. And we do not address, and I'm not accusing anybody, but we do not address what we say in closed session. Okay? Because you reference one closed session, and we've had numerous closed session matters. It's a little concerning to me. So let me reinforce that first.
Thank you, Mr. Sarlo. Would anybody else like to speak?
Hi, Anne Marie Brown, 574 Clarendon Court. So 1 year ago, my neighbors and I sat before mayor and council and expressed our concerns about having a 24-hour 7-Eleven store in the residential zone of River Edge. Unfortunately, after expressing my personal concerns to the council, some chose to call me out by name at the meeting and belittle my concerns about how a 24-hour business in the residential area of town might negatively affect the residents in the area. My concerns were considered to be unfounded worries and that they were a figment of my imagination. As a result, the mayor and council fortunately passed an ordinance which would limit the hours of operation for that business, but unfortunately, my unfounded worries have become a living bad dream. I would like to take a moment to recall my concerns and tell you how they've become a reality in our daily lives as neighbors of the 7-Eleven, which is located within 100 feet of my back door. Some of you may not be aware of a lot of what is happening over there. First of all, one of my biggest complaints was noise. Nowadays, delivery trucks come to the store at all hours of the day and night. On a consistent basis, trucks can be heard and seen delivering goods between the hours of 9 p.m. and 11 p.m. at night. They typically bang their lifts up and down and idle their engines with their refrigeration units on for upwards of 30 to 45 minutes at a time. Just last night, a delivery truck arrived at the store at 3:30 a.m. and finally it left at 4:01 a.m. Pretty funny because the store wasn't even open. The idling can be heard through closed windows and over a television. Okay? These have been reported to the police. There are 3 that are on record. There are numerous accounts where we were told, my husband and I were told by the clerk when we called in, that there was nothing that could be done about it and that we needed to speak to the code enforcement officer. So those were not fortunately recorded, but they were called in. In addition, there's consistently noise from patrons who come and go from the store. At times, cars blast their radios while shopping in the store, while others shout to their friends as they walk down the block. And at times, this is in the middle of the night as well. Another huge concern was kids hanging out, large groups of teens and children hanging out. On a typical Friday afternoon, you can find large groups of teens hanging out on the store's property after making a purchase at the 7-Eleven. Not only do they loiter in the parking lot, but they also use the retaining wall and dumpster as their personal jungle gym as they climb on top of boats. They ride their bikes, scooters, and skateboards on the side lot and use the wall to play wall ball with a basketball. The other day, there was even a teenager sleeping in the parking lot, all of which I have photos of and video of. I've not only witnessed this, but we've taken documentation of this. Okay. Another concern was traffic. On a daily basis, in both the morning and afternoons, traffic backs up in front of the store because people have a hard time making a left both in and out of their parking lot. This makes exiting our block that much more difficult. In addition, because many drivers are impatient, they try to go around the person who's making the left turn, and as a result, they wind up driving up onto the grass, which is next to the sidewalk, which we walk on each day. In addition to cars that are turning, we've also, a lot of us have seen, tractor trailers that park to make deliveries right on Kindergarten Road, MTA buses and school buses that park on Kindergarten Road to run inside and go make a purchase and then come out, both of which blocks sight lines
and you can't see around them because they're parked on the corner of Tinderconnect and Clarendon Court, or across the street right in front of the 7-Eleven, both of which I believe are no parking zones. On another note, there are high levels of danger for pedestrians who attempt to cross the store. Without a pedestrian crosswalk at that corner, cars don't stop for pedestrians trying to cross. Just 2 weeks ago on a Friday afternoon, 3 teens were witnessed almost being hit by a landscaping truck as they crossed right in front of oncoming traffic to get to the 7-Eleven. Fortunately, one area of concern that has not directly impacted us yet has been crime. Although I have passed the store on 2 occasions and seen many police cars questioning individuals in the 7-Eleven parking lot, but I hesitate to make assumptions. I'll leave that to the police. I personally, however, have protected my family by increasing my security system, which includes video cameras, in case somebody decides to come across the street and hop on fence. So a year later, I ask that you, the mayor and council, town council, stop by and come see for yourself what's going on. Come see these concerns for yourself, the ones that I've brought to your attention. I also highly suggest that you go on to Facebook, if you're on Facebook, and take a look at the River Edge Mom and Dad's page and see what people are saying about having 2 7-Elevens in town, particularly ones that both potentially could be open 24 hours a day. They're not happy, so take a look at what they're saying. I respectfully request that you uphold the decision that you made a year ago to limit the hours of operation for the business that's located in the residential area of town. If you recall, just a few years ago when CVS moved from the Tinderconnect location to the south end of town, people had a hard time getting used to the fact that they had to go a little extra, not even a mile, to get to the CVS. But over time, people adapt. So with that, I say that I believe that people will adapt and go to the 24-hour 7-Eleven that will be located at the south end of town, and there's really no need for 2. So I really respectfully request, and thank you for your time, and consider, making sure that we uphold the resolution that was passed last year. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. Anybody else? No.
My name is Jerry, and I live right across from 7-Eleven. And
Your address for record, please.
my address is 572 Clarendon Court. I live right across from 7-Eleven, and Tinderconnect is the road that separates between 7-Eleven and my house. What the lady just had told you, she's also my neighbor, is true. At night, like last night, I heard a car on 7-Eleven parking lot with big, loud music, like rap music. And he must have turned it on and go to the store and take his time, and I could hear it, and also hear a car slamming the door. It sounded like I thought it was like my son fell off his bed or something, like big boom. And when I checked his room, it was in his bed sleeping. And it turned out that it was a car slamming the door and so much noise. And at late night, I hear a garbage truck. And it's just not a good quality of life that I'm having. At night I need at least a peaceful life for a few hours. That's all we're asking, to have 7-Eleven closed for that time period. And we hope that stay closed during the night, just for a few hours. And I don't think that will make any, great impact on 7-Eleven income. I mean, how much can they make on that few hours at night? I mean, who's going to be shopping? It's not like they're making tens of thousands of dollars within hours of that period. It's not, how can they make that much? It's all greed to me. They're not negotiating with us. They're not thinking about us. They're all thinking about us like, okay, let's open, let's make more money. It doesn't matter 5 cents or $1. It's just, on our expenses. So don't let that happen. Just think about us too. Let's be fair. And that's all I have to say. Thanks.
Sir, did you put your last name on the record? Did you guys name?
Last name is Lynn.
Thank you, Mr. Lynn.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Paul McCusker, 583 Clarendon Court. I was here several times when the discussion was had about the resolution and the merits of the resolution. I was here to show my support for the resolution, and I don't need to reiterate what everyone else has already said about the fact that it was the proper decision to enact the resolution limiting the hours of operation in the residential district. I was here also afterwards, right after the litigation was filed, to basically thank you guys for doing what I think is the right thing, and I think the overwhelming majority of residents of River Edge think was the right thing. At that time, I also said that the fact that litigation was filed really should not surprise anyone. That was what 7-Eleven threatened, and that's in fact what they did. And really, at the time the litigation was filed, nothing really had changed. 7-Eleven did what they said they were going to do. I think everyone here anticipated that that was a very real possibility. And I urge you at that time to vigorously defend the lawsuit, to not give in to 7-Eleven's litigation strategy. And I'm here today not because I know that any settlement discussions have happened, I don't. But I do know that during the course of litigation, it's inevitable or almost inevitable that there's going to be some discussion of settlement. Attorneys on both sides, both parties are going to be concerned about litigation costs, and ultimately settlement discussions in 99% of the time do happen. And I urge you that the position the town should take, and I think the position that the residents of River Edge would support, is that any settlement discussions not even entertain the possibility that the resolution be modified in any way to allow them to operate for 24 hours. I believe that the town's position, just from a settlement discussion, has only gotten stronger recently. Right now, 7-Eleven has a store open probably less than a mile away. My understanding that that store is going to be open for 24 hours a day. So from the town's perspective, put yourself in the shoes of the management of 7-Eleven. Do they really want to go forth with this and incur more and more litigation expenses when there's going to be a 7-Eleven open less than a mile down the street? If anything, their motivation to fight this has gone down, in my mind, dramatically, because the 7-Eleven that's open right down the street is going to be open 24 hours a day. So again, I thank you for passing the resolution originally. I thank you for defending the lawsuit up until now, and I urge you, and I think I speak for many, many residents of River Edge, the vast majority, to tell you that any settlement with 7-Eleven should not even consider being open 24 hours a day, and I ask you to please take that position. Thank you.
Finney, 571 Clarendon Court. I'm just going to reiterate what all my lovely neighbors have said. I live up the street from 7-Eleven. We have 3 young children. They go to bed early. We all have kids that go to school. I will be a patron of 7-Eleven. If they work with us, I'll work with them. I don't think we need 2 7-Elevens open 24 hours. Just like Mr. McCluster said, I don't think, you know, what's the need for 2 24-hour 7-Elevens? But I know for Jerry's sake, and all the people on the other side of Clarendon Court, you know, the noise, it's horrible. I mean, you know, that Peninsula Road is so busy, especially in the morning, getting out, pulling out. It's horrible to make a left turn. I have to go around, which isn't a big deal, but it's awful. You have to go in and out, the traffic, the noise, even the littering is horrible. The kids don't care, and I get it, they're kids, but the noise and just, I don't know, I'm just upset. I'm just hoping that you guys, you know, will work with us. Like I said, if you work with me, you know, I'll work with you. That's really pretty much what I have to say. I want to be here to support my neighbors, because I know this is really important for all of us, and I just hope you guys can understand where we're coming from. Thanks.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Mary Lisa de Los Santos, and I live at the 578 Clarendon Court. I am across 7-Eleven and what divides 7-Eleven from my property is Justice Street. I'm like 400 feet away. And I have not documented the things that I have seen at 7-Eleven. But I understand that their time hours are limited to operations by 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock. I have seen them open before 5 o'clock. And sometimes what happens is the lights already, by the awning are already very bright. But inside is a little bit darker, but there's still a light. However, with the dark light, with the dim lights inside 7-Eleven, when a customer parks in before 5 o'clock, 4:30, 4:45, and parks in the parking lot, someone would open the door and entertain the customers. And I agree to what Anne-Marie and Jerry have indicated, because I have seen them, but I have not documented it. Now that I know that I'm not the only one witnessing this, I will start documenting them, and I will put the time and video them if I have to. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anybody else? Once, twice, more? Okay. I believe the motion to close the public.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Council comments, Councilman Murphy?
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to send my condolences to the family of Jeff House. He recently passed away. He was a neighbor of mine, and he leaves behind 6 young children. There is a GoFundMe page for him, so if anyone's interested in helping the family out, there's 6 kids, all under the age of 9 years old. And that's my comment for tonight.
Thank you. Councilman Davis?
The farmer's market finally ended on October 18th after a very successful season. The Green Team discussed possible projects for next year, and they also asked that if they have any remaining funds this year in the budget, they would like to help the Boy Scout with his project of cleaning the trees down at the tree farm at Cherry Hill. SCORE, Ellen and I went today to a luncheon along with Ellen's running mate and my running mate, and spoke to the seniors about, very generalized about what the council as a whole is doing for the seniors. And that's it.
Thank you. Councilman Cabrera?
Here I have no comments, thank you.
Councilman Papaleo?
Yes, I wanted to say that I stopped by the Historical Society Cultural Center for the exhibit. I don't know if anyone else did. It's really quite good, and I think they've done a wonderful job of documenting the history of River Edge. Also, I wanted to inform the council that the River Edge Fire Department has been working very hard at going to all the elementary school classes and doing the instruction they do every year. This is our volunteers working really hard in addition to what Lieutenant Quinlan and former Chief Dave Stuckey have been doing. This is just another example of the fine service that our firefighters, volunteer firefighters do. And that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Councilman Bordeloni?
Thank you, Mayor. We have another meeting this month?
No.
No. So first off, happy Thanksgiving to everyone. We won't be back here until December. To Mr. Quinlan and former Chief Stuckey, again, for their good works. Congratulations to them. I also want to thank and congratulate all the volunteers for the Riverdale Soccer Association. They finished up their season this past weekend, and a special shout out to the 3-4 girls champs of the round robin, the Breakers, who they were my team.
Congratulations.
So shout out to them, and good luck to candidates here. And I think I can say everyone's probably looking forward to this election being over tomorrow. So,
Amen.
so that's it.
Councilman Lister.
Thank you. I had the pleasure last Thursday of representing the borough to receive our Silver Award from the New Jersey Safe Routes to School, which is a division of New Jersey Department of Transportation. The borough was the only municipality in all of Bergen County to receive that level of award, and it's good for 3 years. And I mentioned to the mayor that perhaps we can present that in the future to our crossing guards and members of the police department and traffic and safety who really do the hard work to have allowed us to achieve that level of award. So that's a nice accolade for the borough. I would just urge every American citizen to exercise this very precious right we have to vote. And the polls are open from 6 to 8, and best of luck to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. First, I want to extend my condolences to the family of Jeff Howes. I did not know him, and I was remiss. I probably should have opened the meeting in his memory, but I was remiss to do that. But very sad story, and our hearts and prayers go out to the family. I just want to remind the council that the VFW is having their Veterans Day ceremony on Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock. We've been invited. I've also been invited and been asked to extend an invitation to council by Rabbi Jacobson. Wednesday, the 9th at 7:30 at the Temple. It's a memorial for Kristallnacht, which was November 9th to 10th, 1938. And they're having a speaker, Mr. Kurt Osinski from Paramus, who was a 12-year-old resident of Vienna and lived through that night, and he will be giving his reflections that evening. And said the rabbi extended the invitation to the entire council if we can attend. It's Wednesday evening at 7:30. And other than that, I'll wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving also, and we pray that the voters in this country will have good wisdom in their decisions tomorrow, whatever that may be. That may be a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
On behalf of all West Maryland, I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.